welcome back to Date with the Divas. Before we get started, can you please click on that subscribe button? I know you want to, so just do it. And remember to like our videos and hit on that notification bell so you never miss our latest and greatest. Come on, Entourage. Let's grab the drink. The heat is coming back, so we got some tea for you. Alicia, start us up.
Hey, Entourage, y'all. All right. So today I got some hot topics for you. Got about maybe 3, maybe 4 hot ones. It was a busy week, okay? People are acting crazy in these streets. So first, let's start out with Black America's acting sweetheart, Nia Long. She is a veteran actress, has done quite a few things, and she's, was in a scandal last year with her ex-fiancé, Ime Udoka, who had a mistress. I think we covered in one of our stories, I believe. So definitely go through our little history, Entourage, and check it out if you haven't. So she recently posted on Monday night, she shared a video. That's Emma, or sorry, now I'm mispronouncing his name. How's it pronounced, Audrey?
Pronounce it.
How's it pronounced?
How do you? I'm asking.
Oh, okay.
Oh no, you pronounced it so good before.
Oh, okay.
Whatever you said, I don't know. It sounded good.
Okay. Ime,
that's him.
Yes, that's him. She has an older son from a previous relationship, and then the youngest one is their child together. So he, works for the Boston Celtics, and he had an affair on her with somebody who actually works for the Boston Celtics, someone who worked in their camp. And so on Monday, Nia shared a video of writer Dr. Yaba Blay speaking with 2 of her friends on their We Can Do Hard Things podcast. There they are. And it's a little small clip of a video taken from a March 2022 episode of the author Glennon Doyle's We Can Do Hard Things podcast, who's a teacher, author, and so forth. And so Dr. Yabo is a Black lady. She was speaking to her 2 friends, the 2 co-host ladies there, about the lack of empathy shown for Black women in comparison to white women. Okay, and then as you can see, Nia Long had that caption, "Where is this level of awareness?" a year ago. And she added the Celtics, and she hashtagged the woman's name who had the alleged affair with her ex-fiance. And so I'm going to do a quick little rundown of what Dr. Yaba said. Okay, a little quick highlights for those who did not catch it. She says, "Most of us are unmoved by white tears because we don't actually think they're real. It's a performance. It's a switch that you turn on because you know that we have been socialized to see you more human and of more value. So whatever it is you think and whatever it is you feel, we are supposed to respond to it. But y'all don't respond to Black women crying the same way. Nobody does. Nobody. The minute a white woman cries, the world has to stop. Oh my God, what's wrong with you, baby? Black women cry and we can be rolling on the ground, screaming, and you are unmoved because you have been socialized to not see us as human beings. Our tears don't matter to you, but a white woman. And y'all know that and that's why I'm not here for the fragility." And so you very deliberately turn that stuff on as a way to avoid accountability. And one of the white men was agreeing. They were agreeing and nodding along. For those who were curious, like, what were their response? They were agreeing. And so Ms. Shea continues. She says, "That's not fragility. That's manipulation. It's strategic, diabolical. The notion that white fragility is supposed to tell us what let you off the hook because you can't handle it. Why? No, because you don't want to. Every time we hold your feet to the fire, all of a sudden it's, oh my God, I didn't know." You didn't have
that.
Yeah, we're gonna get a little mile
practice that one.
Y'all didn't think you was gonna get a mile on today, did you? Right? We are in the land of acting over here. Okay. She says, "You didn't have to know. And now that I'm trying to make you know, you can cry so we can end the conversation. This is how you run away. How do I hold you accountable if you're all up in your feelings? How come I don't get to be all up in my feelings? I'm sitting here telling you of generations of your people killing mine. How come I don't get no tears and move you? Sounds like I should be the one crying. Sounds like the fragility might be mine, but no, I've got to be strong. This is the thing that really pisses me off. In your tears, you now expect me to hold your hand, rub your back, and make you feel better because you're crying. Again, you're centered. Your experiences are more important than mine. That shit is diabolical. I'm not here for it. End quote.
Let me find out that that's your friend, because you spoke it as if you got it firsthand.
Right. I am also an actress, so you can always hit me up. So if you need me for any services, we get the okay. Anyway, back on topic. So like I said, Nia Long tweeted that, and she revealed the mistress's name because the Boston Celtics, when all that stuff was going down last year, they kept her name secret, but yet they, no one was hot. Everyone was, all the teachers on Nia Long and her young child who's 11 years old. She's done a couple of interviews saying that she thinks it's heartbreaking that all of this was seen in her son's face when the Boston Celtics organization decided to make a very private situation public. She shared it in an interview with the Hollywood Reporter back in December. She said it was devastating, and it still is. My son still has moments where it's not easy for him. If you're in the business of protecting women, I'm sorry, no one from the Celtics organization has been called to see if I'm okay, to see if my children are okay. It's very disappointing.
Call her out. Put her name
Right.
out there. She was doing something in the dark that there shouldn't been in the dark. So guess what? Nia Long's bringing it to the light. Call her out and hold her accountable.
It sounds like she wants to hold the Celtics accountable, though, right?
Right. Yeah.
Oh, so because they didn't put her name out.
Right. It's like they try to protect her reputation and try
right.
to. I think she still kept her job, I feel like, right?
So why
Where's
did
the morality?
Put her name out when it happened?
Yeah, I don't know.
Out anyway. I mean, we knew it was the wife of the guy. I don't remember his name.
No, they never said who the employee was.
It was just rumors, Nicole. But the organization itself never explicitly confirmed who it was. So even though we had the rumors, it's probably this lady, but no confirmed.
I don't expect the organization to come out and probably say that. Maybe, maybe that would be a problem for them, and they're probably waiting for some outsider, Nia Long rather, to say something.
So wait, I was, because I read the story, obviously, because I did the pictures. I was a little confused about what it is that Nia Long
wants, right?
Me too.
Because she acted like everything was cool when it happened. She was very quiet. She was very circumspect. I felt she was very protective of her man, which that's her right. She can choose to. I didn't know she was upset or in distress.
Maybe she just got upset or something.
I think that's exactly what
I didn't read the story. I had heard about it on another podcast. And from what I had heard, Nia was like, well, everyone knows who I am, and my son knows all of this is happening, but she felt like this woman is protected, and nobody or most people didn't know, because Nicole, you're saying you knew, like most people didn't know who she was, so she wanted to call her out. I am a little confused by it also because this clip with Yaba Blay, I think I saw that about a year ago.
Yeah,
on the We Can Do Hard Things podcast. So I was a little confused, but I was like, maybe she was just having a moment and was like, and maybe the clip came up for her or something, or maybe she remembered it and was like, I'm gonna put her name out there. Maybe it was a little drunken moment or something.
Nia Long is famous. Of course she's going to be out there. Of course the story is going to be her. She's famous. So I really don't get her point. I don't
get her point either, but then I'm thinking about like her cycle, her moment in which for her to process everything, and maybe a trigger happened and then it caused her to have a vomit moment, because again, we as women of color have a tendency to put up the strong face, be the bigger person. I don't have to stoop down to that level. I'm just going to try to like stay in my little silo and, move forward and with dignity. But then something happens, and then you're going through your little cycle and you think you're good. And then something happens and it takes you back 10 steps. And problem, I don't know, like, friend in my head, Nia Long, maybe, you know, she go back to step one and now she's kicking herself saying, maybe I should have just shut my mouth up. But, you know, sometimes you go through that moment where you think that you're going through the process of healing, and then something happens, triggers you, and it kind of takes you a step back. She may just go back into her, you know, her little hole again. You know, she said her piece, and that's maybe what she needed to release it, be over it, be done with it, and continue to move on. So that's the only thing. That was my interpretation.
I think she is feeling, I agree with you. Something triggered this tweet. But I think what she wants, and again, I don't know her, but is that people to remember that she is the victim.
Exactly.
Yeah. And that she felt like people were trying to protect the Celtic brand and maybe the employee. And in that shuffle, people are forgetting that she was the wronged person.
Exactly.
And I think this is just her saying, you know, you can't don't overlook me.
Right.
I agree.
I just feel like the person who wronged you was your fiance, not the Celtics.
I feel like they kind of helped, aided and abetted, honestly. I mean,
her man got fired. We don't know what happened with the woman because we don't really, to this day, know all the details. But I just feel like, first of all, I didn't know Nia Long was a victim. I didn't know she saw herself that way. She didn't come out with her story and say, I'm upset and traumatized. So I just don't know what it was she expected.
Well, it was very public humiliation. You know what I mean? Like, even if you
are man put you through that, not the Celtics.
Maybe
victim. Come on.
Maybe now. I think victim may be the wrong word. I think she was the wronged.
She was a wronged person. Exactly.
And so she wants people to acknowledge, like, that she was wrong, but instead, you know, the focus was sort of, I guess, to protect you know, the girl by not releasing her name.
Well, they have to protect her. I mean, you know that they have to protect their employees.
But they didn't. Well, if they were going to protect their employees, then they shouldn't release Ime's name either. Then, you know what I mean? Like, but I guess her
name got released though was because he got fired and he's their head coach. So that was a story. They fired their head coach at the beginning.
Well, it should have just been that then, instead of involving her and her son. Then maybe it should have just been he was fired.
Well, no, they didn't involve her and her son. It's just that people knew, like, wait a minute, this is Nia Long's fiance, and he was fired for messing around with someone in the organization. That was more of the.
So I'm saying they didn't have to reveal why he was fired. Then, if you're gonna be protected,
they didn't reveal why he was fired. It was leaked. You know, companies never reveal why they fire someone.
But could it just be that? Again, maybe, you know, what Lava was saying about, you know, something triggered, okay?
No, yeah, and I agree with that.
You're just not thinking. You're just like, okay.
Yeah, I think she, like Lava said, something that we don't know. Maybe it was something with their son. Something had to trigger her saying this, and while she triggered, she probably just got mad at the world. She's mad at him. She's mad at her. She's mad at the Celtics. She's mad at anybody who knew.
And anybody can get it at that point.
Yeah, it's like if your man is cheating and his homeboy knew, it'd be like, oh, you couldn't tell me.
I don't feel like I'd be going off on a homeboy a year and a half later. I just
that's the part that's confusing. But something had to change.
It is confusing, but to that particular person, when they're going through it, it makes sense to them.
Yeah,
because they had that trigger.
So you know what happened? So what had happened was she was all good. She was all good, right? And then her ex-man and the girl, she was going to a party and the son was there and she saw that they looked like a happy-go-lucky family and she's like, wait a second, that was supposed to be me. What?
And she was like, where's that Yaba blade?
Now, there we go.
Something happened because she was good. It seemed like she was good, but and I use good very loosely. And I don't mean good as in, you know, I just
remember Lava, she's fragile, so she wasn't good.
She was holding
we had forgotten about it.
Let's pick our lane, Black women. Are we good or are we not good?
Look, we the public had forgotten about it. So something
Yeah.
Something made her bring it back up to everyone. I can tell you about them Twitter fingers.
Hasn't that ever happened to you? You know, you're with,
That's what I'm saying.
you're in a long-term relationship or whatever. You guys get into a fight and you just kind of like, okay, we're done and over with. But you don't really, it never really
processes,
like solved to your whatever.
You see his sweater in your closet. You like, you know what?
Something else happens like a year later, and all of a sudden that old wound or that Band-Aid gets ripped, and you're like, and this, don't you remember that? Don't you remember this? And you just go through that rabbit hole of bringing out
and you mad at everybody. You like, now that I look at it.
Okay, so Michelle, I personally have never experienced that. When I'm done, I'm done. But if that happened to me, I think I'd be talking to my man, not his bosses.
Well, I think you're a lot more level-headed than some of these other women. That's what it
is. That did that to you, not the Celtics.
But I think
all the time, like, you know, when the cheating happens and stuff, and you go and you yelling at the girl, and people are saying, "Why you yell at the girl?"
Exactly.
You let your man, right? So we're thinking logically, but the person in that moment
is just doing whatever.
I mean, there has to be a level of culpability for the woman too, because she knew he was married. She knew he was married.
She was married too, Michelle.
Okay, so
they were both married.
Cheating, you know, skanky people. But what I'm saying is that for the Celtics, I think it was that everybody knew and kind of just didn't say anything. So I feel like there's also, she felt betrayed by them. Like, you know, the same thing, like if your husband is cheating with his coworker and you know the other coworkers and no one's ever
at the company event.
Right. I know, but what I'm saying is that
it's not my cheating man's boss's fault that my man is a
I know, but
it's Antrese. And when I say, it's like, okay, hey, if we're like best friends and I know that your man is cheating on you, would you want me to tell you or no?
The Celtics are not your best friend. They're your
Girl,
fiance.
Those
were your fiance.
No. It's the principle.
They are collateral damage.
That's it.
Y'all are being crazy.
Nobody can get these hands. That's
exactly.
Y'all sound as crazy as Nia Long.
No, you know,
don't let Auntie fool you like she's all saying and stuff like that. We see her after hours.
Thank you.
She's not all the way saying.
I'm not the type to come to your job and act a fool. That's not me.
You know what? I smell a Tyler Perry movie in the works. Nia Long, get with the bus driver.
All right, guys. Y'all let us know what y'all think. Do you think Nia Long is grabbing for attention here? Do you agree with us? Like, you know what, something must have just happened and triggered this, and she has every right to say how she feels, okay? And no matter what caused it, that video was right. Okay, I second that video. Okay, take it up with your mammy. Okay,
your doctor's friend, she was all the way right.
Right. No matter. The poster was correct. Okay, no matter the context of Nia's story, the poster was correct. Okay. All right. So moving on to some more heartbreak. I want to get on Teresa. Take on this one to see what she says, since you know she's so sane.
Happened to me. No.
Right. She's as cool as a cucumber under pressure, y'all. So, you know, we have to test out and see, you know. All right. So what's buzzing around all week this week is Lovebirds Tamar Braxton and JR, who were engaged after they met on the reality show Queen's Court, are no longer together. Oh,
his hands
proposed, I think.
Yes. They were engaged in March from Queen's Court, but this past Monday, Robinson took to his Instagram story to show a detailed message with his followers. In the post, it says, so many questions, so many assumptions. Okay, I'll do it regular. I want to answer all that I can with respect. Yes, Tamar and I are no longer together. I ended the relationship to focus on getting back to the positive energy and being a better person. What happened and why? That's our private place. No, I never cheated. No, I wasn't there when she was at her mother's place when her car was burglarized. No, I never cared about fame. who reveals their most embarrassing moments in their life to find fame. Quite a few, but anyway. I have always represented famous people. And the truth is, I was in an amazing place financially and mentally. I turned down Queen's Court several times before I gave in. Ultimately, I fell in love and it did not end up how I wanted it. So I want to heal. Tamar and I will always be friends and family for life. Thank you for respecting our privacy. Okay. So I got the world's all buzzing like, ooh, they broke up with each other, or he definitely broke up with her. I wonder what happened. Now, the host of Queen's Court, Holly Robinson Pete, she kind of responded to it. I think she took down that tweet or message.
Down?
Huh?
You took it down?
I think she did, because we don't have it no more. We can't find it.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh. But I trusted, sister site, Kempire. He had it up for us.
Look for it, because I think I had it too.
I have it too.
Mm-hmm.
But this
you know what it
Go
said.
ahead.
Remember.
You know what it said.
Yes. So Holly Robinson Pete said, in response to Robinson's Instagram post, she said, wishing you both well. Not sure if you turning down Queen's Court 3 times. You were one of the most prepared and camera-ready kings of them all. Suspect, okay. So that's what her take was on that. And then eventually Tamar finally went to her YouTube page and did a little video, deciding to confess her truth in clips in a live session. So she kind of says, I'm going to kind of sum it up pretty fastly about, I have done a lot of work on my mental health.
Where's your Tamar impression?
Oh, I know, right? Okay. I have done a lot. Okay, I can't do it. I can't. That's too much pressure on me to do it correctly.
I have done a lot of work on my mental health.
Right, there you go. If you want to see us do a little diva acting, let us know in the comments below.
We going on the road.
Right.
X.
Anyway, we're trying to kill our vibes, okay, Joe? Don't kill our vibes. Anyway, so Tamar said, I've done a lot of work about mental health and changed who I used to be into who I am now. And I can't help it if people fall into that perception because it's easy. She said, no one will hold me captive to the person she used to be, and that she's in a better space mentally and she's healthy and happy. She says, I'm hurt, but such is life. I'm surprised, but okay. I just want everybody to know that the devil is a dirty liar. Okay, so she probably said it like that. Braxton concluded her message by stating that she won't be acknowledging any remarks from other parties, but instead she's giving it all to God. She says, I am not going to let the devil or anyone, I don't care what they say, what they put out. The battle is not mine, and I'm not even going to address or talk about or fall into the traps of the devil because I live by the word. So, Divas, what do you think? What do you think happened between them two? Do you think that did you believe in their relationship? Were you excited for them, or are you not surprised at all?
I didn't really watch this. I didn't watch the show. I didn't watch Queen's Court. I'm familiar with Tamar from Braxton Family Values. I follow her on Instagram. But I don't know. These reality show relationships, especially if you take it somebody who's famous and in the limelight, and then you take it somebody who's like, I mean, yeah, he's worked with celebrities, but he's not a celebrity. Like, we only know who he is. I only know who he is because of this show. I just feel like that's a come up, and I just don't believe in it. So I wasn't surprised. Right. On a side note, in that last picture you showed on Trees, he was looking a little old too. So I don't know what's up with these men. I was like, who is that next to her?
So you feel like famous women should only be with famous men?
No, I think if you go on a show to find love with someone, I think if someone who's not famous goes on a show to find love with someone that is famous, I'm gonna be suspect of that person who wasn't famous before. Right. Like, if she would have met him.
But if you're seeking fame, why not just stay with Tamar?
Because your name is already out there. You could spit it. Like, I think if they would have met on the regular, like, oh, okay, I met him in his law office or just around Atlanta or whatever, and then we like had a reality show or something, it still would have been a little suspect anytime you have a show. But I think just being like, oh, we're gonna take these really famous women and introduce them to these men that are not famous. It's like, what are you men really on there for? Or what are you, that person that's not famous, really on there for?
Right.
I mean, I'm not saying that, that's not, that it can't work, but I see your point.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean, but a lot of shows are popular because there's taking celebs and 50 different women who aren't celebrities to date them and all that sort of stuff.
Right. And that's the show. I think it's a good premise for a show. I don't know if it's a good foundation for a relationship.
I was hoping for them.
I just feel like a famous woman, anyone she meets could be pursuing her for fame. Even if she met them at the lawyer's office, the lawyer could be interested in being with.
And that's true, because they know who they are and they know that she likes to be in the limelight. So they're going to naturally be in the limelight. It's just, that was just my personal thought on it. And apparently it seemed like Holly Robinson Pete's like,
right, I was getting ready to say, for her to say that he came camera ready.
Camera ready, sir.
He was definitely camera ready. I watched the show. He was definitely, but I felt like that was kind of his personality too. He's just one of those guys that's like a smooth talker, and he's very charming. And
most lawyers are. That should have been the whole sign there. A lawyer, like.
What did you think about, in terms of, since you watched the show and stuff? How did you feel that they had longevity? Or?
I liked him because that he's not Tamar's type.
Yeah.
So she warmed up to him very slowly. But I just felt like, of all the men, he was the most genuinely and authentically like enamored with her. And I felt like he understood her, and he understood how to approach her, and he like gave her space to take her time, because some of the guys put pressure on the queens, and that he just knew that wasn't the way with her. I really liked them together. They had a podcast, I think.
Yeah, I thought they had a YouTube channel that was starting to come out or something, right? Something like that.
I liked him for her. So it makes me sad that they broke up. I hope they can work it out and get back together, actually, because I liked him for Tamar.
I don't think there's going to be any getting back together.
No, I don't think
he
so.
did mention negative energy.
It shouldn't have been important to him to tell everyone that, no, I dumped her, which is basically what his statement said.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did say that.
Right. He didn't say we split. He was like, yeah, I did this. Like, okay, why?
Private. Who cares who broke up with who? Just say we ended our relationship. But I agree with you, Nicole, on that. I felt like there was like little slight digs in his statement to basically say like, it ain't me, it's her. I ain't do.
Yeah, it did come off that way. You're right, because it seemed like I need peace in my life. I'm drama free.
And why did he mention the burglary? That was funny.
Because people were saying, "Where's your man, Tamar?" Remember when she got burgled? People kept saying, "Well, where's your man? What do you mean you got no place to go?"
Yeah, it happened up, and I think that was another post had come out, basically indicating that she basically said that she's not a victim, and this is what God is putting her through. It was in the shade room, and basically she mentions like all of her struggles about moving to one place that everything happening so like close together. So apparently around their breakup time, within the hour of the breakup, or either the burglary happened or the breakup happened, but it both happened within
a period of time.
It was very consecutive, so it was just like a whole bunch of like bad luck type things.
Oh, okay. Definitely a lot she's a handful. So
I wasn't surprised. And when he said about the crazy, I said, yeah, he found her crazy.
Which starts to make sense, because when she started her video saying, but I'm working on my mental health, and I was like, okay, what's up?
But that wasn't that a lot of the speculation was like she had she had some sort of mental breakdown. So he probably, her representative was there for a little bit, but then the representative said, I quit, girl. I can't.
You know what? I
took them as far as I could.
Right. I did always wonder how come they didn't get married yet. They were engaged for.
My ride is over.
Yeah. Yeah, because I'm like, if I'm getting engaged, we're taking to the island in like 2 months. I ain't giving you no time. We in there. Okay.
The damn girl, what you trying to hide?
Just no take backs on this ring. Okay, that's all. Okay. So ask her, what's the longest would you stay engaged if you were to get it proposed to? How long would you stay engaged for?
Depends on what kind of wedding you want.
Okay.
How long will you're asking how long would you stay engaged for before the wedding? I know plenty of people I think it varies. Like most people say, if you're going to get married, if we're engaged, like what are we waiting for? Some people got to get their chips up, before they do it. But then I'm figuring you get your chips up before you get the ring. So I'm gonna need for you to just, I think sometimes it all depends because you have people waiting for 10 years before they actually get married. So whatever. Yeah. Some people just do it to placate. I just think it's
I wouldn't do that long. I think Nicole said, it depends on the wedding. Because I wouldn't want to plan my wedding before I'm engaged because that's just I feel like that's bad luck. Right. I would want to know, I would want us to know that we're on the same page. I don't want anybody popping up a ring on me and I'm like, whoa, we haven't even talked about this. Right. I want us to be on the same page and kind of know that we're going towards that. But and then maybe 6 months to a year, however long it takes me to plan a nice wedding.
Right.
Right. And it takes about a year to plan a nice wedding.
Yeah.
Yep. Right.
Well, depending on your coins, sometimes people can do it in.
Right.
It depends on what kind of wedding you want.
Right. What's important to you. Because if you just want to go to the courthouse, it's like, oh, okay, yeah, let's go.
I just think as long as the two of you are actively planning it and it's not like this, this indefinite thing that's somewhere in the future, but if the venue you want is unavailable for a year and a half, I'm okay with waiting for a year and a half. But you're still planning for it. You're actively planning it together. Whereas some people get engaged and then they don't think about it after. They're like, okay, we're engaged and that's good enough.
Dude is like, whatever you want to do.
Right. Yeah, I'm surprised she wasn't trying to get a reality show to plan her wedding or have a wedding on TV because
maybe she was.
What was that one? The one from The View, and she used everybody to pay for the wedding.
The Star Jones.
There we go. Yeah.
Listen, I won't turn on the sponsorships. Okay, I was wedding to Spain, Jamaica, all those kind of things. So,
I'll have your logo embroidered on my dress.
Right.
A big Nike check on the back, right? Swift mother, sorry.
Exactly.
All right, Antras, let us know what you think about this story. Are you shocked that they split up? Do you wish that they were to get back together? Does he need to just give her a second chance? It's real love, let us know. So I got 2 little quick cousin stories for you. So listen, I just thought this was I saw some people talk about it in the streets. I don't know 100% about sports now. Okay, I must admit. Okay, I am not a sports junkie, so don't ask me no scores. Don't ask me players' names. Don't. Okay, I'm telling you right now, that's
the internet is our friend.
Right.
Thank you.
Now, one person's name I do know, only because he's been famous for a while, is Deion Primetime Sanders, ex-professional football player who is now the head coach of Colorado Buffaloes. That's right. He now is the head coach. It's almost like that TV show All American is like his real life story right here, right? His son plays for the team too. His son followed him from his other school to this school to be under his dad's coaching or whatever. So this is what I know from my sources, which is, Page 6 News, TMZ. I have relied heavily on my sources this time. So I'm going to tell you about the sources for sure.
Finally, some sources.
Right.
Not from the streets.
Right. At the streets and stuff. So Colorado, they're like number 19 overall, and a lot of Deion Sanders has been kind of in the headlines recently because he's prime time, so he's very showy himself as a coach, and of course that rubs off onto his son. Now I'm sorry, I'm just mispronouncing the name. Possibly his son's name is Shador, or yeah, I guess it's I don't know. But anyway, he's a junior quarterback. And he's been known to like flounce around with glittering multi-$1,000 diamonds on during practices and stuff like that, taking a whole bunch of selfies and photos and stuff, having large chains on all the time. They're kind of like glamorizing a lot of college football. A lot of celebrities now have started to attend the Colorado games, and but there's a lot of stuff action happening off the scene, but it's like they're like not winning that well, right? So I want to say
the baby,
huh?
Is that the baby?
Libby's what?
Sorry,
I treat you have to keep up with the dialogue here.
I'm sorry, I thought it was a little picture that was sex. I'm sorry.
Always happens when I host. Like
you did say, a lot of celebrities were attending the games.
Yeah. That's true. I did say that. Okay.
You good, Artrice. You good.
Okay. So okay, so they had lost a previous game beforehand. I forgot who they lost against. I'll find it somewhere in my notes again. But,
USC, I believe.
Well, this is the USC game I'm getting ready to talk about.
Oh,
right
okay,
here.
my bad.
But they lost another game beforehand because they didn't come on streak. Okay, losing streak. But anyway, sorry, Lava. You Lava look like I don't know much about football, but I know a winner when I see it. Okay, but anyway. So during the game, they lost to Oregon the week before. Okay. And so they were getting ready they're playing USC. And primetime coach was like, let me motivate my players. I gotta be like All American, the TV show, to motivate my team players. Let me bring in a celebrity friend to motivate. So on Friday, September 29th, he says to his team, I got somebody else who went through something, who dealt with some issues. They had to regroup, veer off a little, get back on track, and I love him. He's like a little brother to me. And so Coach Sanders brings out rapper DaBaby to give a motivational speech to his team. Now, DaBaby tried his best because this is what his advice was. I just keep going. You know what I'm saying? Just keep going. Stay down, stay at it. I feel like y'all are in the program. You know what to do. That's normal, man. It's regular. And getting it early is more healthy than running into it later. So, y'all got it. That's the essence of his, motivational speech.
You got this.
Right. And as you can see from that headline right there, it says it was a huge mistake. You highlighted it.
He went in and he said sexual chocolate.
Yeah, the college football world was like, what the hell is going on? A lot of people were like, some tweets, that I had, they were like, among all other things he's done, DaBaby literally brought a Black woman's assailant on stage with him to publicly antagonize her. But yes, let's have him talk about adversity he has overcome. It was like, honestly, this makes sense because no matter how much we tell DaBaby that his music is trash, he continues to fight through adversity and release it to the masses. I love that. Like, wow.
Alicia, did you find out from your story what possessed Deion Sanders to choose him of all?
Thank you. Like, really?
No, I did not. Just from his little blurb at the beginning, like, he's like,
he's like a brother to him.
And it is strange though, because there was another celebrity, Kevin Garnett was there that same night at USC. Like, just ask Kevin Garnett to speak. For those who don't know, Kevin Garnett is let me look him up. Kevin Garnett,
he's a basketball
player.
Lots of former athletes that could have come.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's who he could come up with, or what? Did every athlete was like, no, you got to pay me to talk to them, or and he was what?
Yeah, it was weird. What do you guys think? Yeah.
Yeah, that's just
Love, you were
weird.
muted.
The thoughts about him getting, so the question is about him getting other people to come in to talk and be the inspirational. Is that the question?
I think that was what Andrea said. Like, yeah, like
She's asking what's your question.
What is your question?
Oh, okay. My question was, what do you think about the baby's motivational speech? Did you feel like he was appropriate to be used, or do you, he should have used somebody else?
Oh no. But I'm gonna let Lava take this one.
Oh, what? I just asked what the question was.
Why you asking what flavor the Kool-Aid is and you ain't even trying to drink it? Come on now.
She don't like the flavor.
Some chocolate. Hey.
I think it's weird. Like Audrey said, why pick why pick a rapper, period? I mean, maybe I guess maybe he thought that like a rapper will speak to their generation. But yeah, when I see the baby, I just think about him and like Meg the Stallion and like him kind of taking Tory Lane's side. So I'm
what
just
about
like
that girl he slapped at his concert, slapped in her face?
Right.
Yeah. Like you didn't even need to bring anybody up there, really. Like I don't.
What about the homophobic rant he went on?
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Problematic.
Isn't it the coach's job to motivate the team?
It is.
Right. That's you are a former football player. Like
right.
What more motivation do they need? That's what I'm trying. Like you said, you couldn't find another athlete.
Right. He couldn't do it himself. I mean,
right.
That's what I'm saying.
Do you think he was the right man for the job? Do you think he's just too celebrity minded and too, like he's not really paying attention to these kids that they need to be?
Oh, you're saying was Deion Sanders the right man for the coaching job?
Yeah, are you seeing this? Do you think this is showing?
I think he was doing well at. I don't really keep up with football either, but I think he was doing well at the other college he was at, if I remember correctly. But I think from what I've heard, that was kind of a different division. So now he stepped it up and gone to this other college, and he's just not. He's not doing as well as a coach, and that's. I mean, I'm gonna say it's fine in life to step up and not do as well. He'll probably be fired, but
he probably needs to get his.
I think as
together,
with his history, like I could see why they picked him, but yeah, that was just a weird move. I don't know.
Or do you think maybe like he was just trying to maybe use him like to stay hip?
I think he was trying to relate, and maybe that's the only
relate to them.
Yeah, maybe that's the only current rapper he knew of, and like maybe he doesn't keep up with all the other stuff.
The baby a favor?
Maybe the baby was like, "Oh, Deion Sanders, prime time," and he was like, "Oh, come over here and talk to my people."
He didn't even get dressed. He had a wife beater on.
Pajama bottoms, right. Right.
I guess if we understand the logic behind it, we just become as stupid as him. So I'm the logic.
All right. I think we all agree that was a bad move. What's the cousin story?
Okay, so you guys kind of covered this a little bit about Taylor and her new boo, Travis Kelce. So we're back in football still. So the cousins relate, right?
Oh, okay.
Right. So catch last week's video, y'all.
Look at that.
Yeah, all y'all.
But so Taylor has been attending the games a couple of times in a row, right? And there's Travis.
He look good there.
Now he looks better.
Okay.
Come on, Entree.
And he doesn't look 40.
Y'all were crapping on my man last week.
Come on now. This is what I said. We said get the beard back. He had that mustache going. I was like, you like 100 next to her.
Patrice looked for a good picture. That's what it was.
I was like, no, they're not gonna do him like that this week.
Because she knew deep down we was right.
Exactly.
I defend her boo from last week is what it was, huh?
That picture's probably 15 years old.
Okay.
Terrible.
She probably got it from her personal library. On her bedroom wall.
That's that DM picture.
Tracy, did you try to shoot your shot at
Well, that's his job. That's not
literally she did in the video.
Please don't shoot shots. Okay.
She encouraged.
Rein it in.
She said, "I'ma leave the door."
Patrice get shot. She don't shoot.
She did not sing that.
All right, sorry, Alicia.
Okay. Anyway, so Taylor Swift has been, since she's been coming to the games, a lot of more Swifties, more of her fans have started to attend just because they want to see Taylor Swift now. They're like, forget football. We want to see Taylor Swift. A number of people, started buying up seats. The sellers have gone off the roof. People buying her little friendship bracelets and these Era Tour t-shirts. It's been reported that, Kelsey's numbers on Twitter grew, you know what I mean? Like, he's getting more popular basically because of her. Like, people who don't know football now know football because of Taylor Swift and this relationship, and of course, like any old corporation, no matter what you're selling, a corporation would be a corporation for sure. It's like a man, they just gonna do what they're gonna do, right? So they're like, we will take advantage of this. And every time that Taylor Swift is at a game, they now pan to her every 5 minutes, it seems like, to that celebrity box or wherever she's on. Now they also showed a commercial of her tour. And so they showed a commercial of her tour during one of the games. But guess what? Not all the fans are appreciative. She got booed. And this commercial.
That's them real football fans. They like, what is this?
Right. They're like, why is the attention being taken away from the football and the players and going to Taylor Swift? Even the NFL, their Twitter handles are now saying Chiefs are 2-0 as Swifties, New York, there's another tweet that they've got. I heard she was in the house, so I knew I had to get the ball to Travis. And then
that's Patrick Mahomes. He's the quarterback, for those of you who don't know.
Okay. I just heard blowout win with Taylor Swift in the building. Like, Taylor Swift isn't in this little clip, but yeah, they got Taylor Swift's name up there. Then, other fans are like, at this point, it's just a little ridiculous. This is the NFL's X or Twitter hand. They got a picture of Taylor Swift in the background. Taylor, that's crazy. Right. They're like capitalizing off this to the 10th degree. Okay. Whew, what do you guys think? As sports fans, would you be comfortable with, Lava, I know you love you some soccer. If one of your favorite soccer players was in a relationship and all of a sudden you watching a game and they keep going to their man or a woman every 5 minutes now, you'd be like, what
where you do that at?
Right.
Okay. I was trying to watch the game and I was annoyed. I'm like, I don't want to see her.
Yeah.
Every time, there's a down, they're panning up and she's, like celebrating. I don't really care. I'm there to watch the football game.
Yeah.
So focus on the football game. I mean, but I would get annoyed when they would pan up to Brittany Mahomes too. So I was like, okay, I don't want to see her either. Like, focus on the game.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of either, like Taylor Swift or football, but I could see where this would be annoying. I mean, I said it last week, kind of jokingly, kind of not. I was like, is this a real relationship or is it a PR stunt? Because I noticed I've been seeing Travis Kelce everywhere since then. Like, he on some COVID commercial. They reran his Saturday Night Live episode last week.
Well, they are the Super Bowl champions. And so
true.
And Patrick Mahomes are both huge stars in football.
Right. But like,
let's give him his due. Like, it's
okay.
But he didn't have that many fans as he did until he met with Taylor, though.
Moving.
Super Bowl champion now.
Yeah, and I mean, like I said, there was a rerun of his SNL episode. If anybody watches Saturday Night Live, I had seen it at first. I didn't know who he was. Like, besides, he had said we won the Super Bowl. And you're right on, Trees. I experienced him in motion, and there were some skits where I was like, oh yeah, now I remember him. I was like, he got a little spice. He got a little flavor on him. Right? But yeah, I think. All jokes aside, I'm sure it's a real relationship for them, however long it's gonna last. But the NFL doing all this and putting her on a Twitter thing, like, come on, like,
that's a little much.
I'm gonna put a little twist on this because NFL, Beyonce, and Taylor is Blue Ivy, so it's like, how would you feel? You the fans and you watching the show, mama's coming, and all of a sudden you got the baby.
Right.
I was like, wait, where are you going with this? I was like, I got it.
Same thing. But people was kind of like, okay, What's she doing?
So I like football, but I'm much more of a basketball fan. And I just feel like in basketball, maybe we're more accustomed to seeing celebrities in the stands because they always pan to the celebrities.
And the celebrities make sure they right in the front row.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, where's Spike?
Yeah. And then for Knicks games and Laker games, I mean, the stands are usually full of celebrities.
And I get that. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I think maybe NFL fans aren't as accustomed to this. Maybe
I'm an NBA fan too. So I'm used to seeing shots of Leo, you know, all of the celebrities, Andy Garcia,
right.
there at the games, you know, the Laker games.
Oh.
Yeah.
But they don't do it every like 5 seconds.
I feel like when Kim Kardashian was supporting Tristan Thompson last year, I felt like all we were looking at was Kim and her son at those games. And she wasn't even dating anybody. She was just there.
Which is a problem because it's like, it's almost diminishing the athletes and all the hard work that they do to be, you know, showing their skills and doing their professionalism, to be showing some attention to some, you know, somebody who's
my thing is the Twitter, like having her up on the Twitter. It's like, no, like at least him and her. Like, I don't like, why is she up on the? She didn't even sing the song. Carrie Underwood, she sings the dang on Monday Night Football song, or is it Carrie Underwood or something? Yeah.
I'm surprised they're not gonna have Carrie. I'm surprised they're trying not to get to have Taylor Swift do the Super Bowl the way that they're doing this. Like
publicity, girls. I don't understand why you're confused. Of course, the NFL is going to do whatever they need to, and
we understand publicity, but like just putting her in the forefront, like
Twitter has her on there. Guess what? Those people, her fans, are going to.
And that's true. It's like they probably figure it's more Taylor Swift fans on Twitter than there are NFL fans.
All around, it's a moneymaker, so I get it.
Yeah,
it's wrong though, because like if I was a professional sports person on a team, and all of a sudden this one teammate is getting all this attention because they're just dating somebody who's more famous than them, I'm like, excuse me.
It's probably going to start happening more and more
all the time, right?
Like, I wouldn't be surprised if it starts happening more and more, and if some of those relationships are just for publicity.
Right. Yes.
Like, once it starts happening more and more, and maybe it will get like the NFL, where it's like, oh, we're used to seeing the people in the stands and like, you know, all the time, and everybody will be on their Twitter.
But in my opinion, if the NFL is going to be using all this little capitalism, where's my cut? You know,
that's Taylor.
If I was,
but you know what? That is her. She got her cut because
they put her advertising her stuff.
Yeah, true.
But Travis did come out and say he felt like it was they were doing too much.
Who said that?
Travis came out and said he felt the NFL was doing too much.
He said like this.
Nah, look, he said, I'm ready to break up with her. Y'all blowing the spot up. Like, stop.
Well, no man wants to have his fame eclipsed, you know, in his wheelhouse.
That's very
true. Sick of it.
Yeah, that'd be like going to a Taylor Swift concert and there being a poster of Travis Kelce at the door.
Right. I mean, well, his jerseys are going through the roof. The sales of his jerseys now are being sold out.
Like I said, I've seen this man everywhere.
Yeah, all because of that. But you know what, though? Like, if he didn't want all this attention, he shouldn't have invited her to the game in the first place. Just date her privately until you've established a foundation in that relationship of being serious. So it could be a publicity stunt, like Marnita said.
No, Nicole said they've been dating for a while.
At the rooftop.
Oh, okay.
He didn't know. His faculties weren't there because he was just so enamored.
Yeah. So I'm gonna tell y'all ladies right now, if y'all date somebody famous, we're gonna capitalize off of it for ourselves.
Oh yeah, I'm be like Date with the Divas. I'm like, because I was talking on Date with the Divas on YouTube, and
and what, Date with the Divas?
Right.
By the way, Date with the Divas.
All right, y'all. Thank you guys for tuning in with us tonight. Leave your comments below, like and subscribe. If you're a major sports fan, would you be annoyed by this as well? Or do you understand where the corporation is coming from? Like, listen, hey, you got to strike while the iron's hot, you know? So let us know what you think.
I understand. Yeah, I'm annoyed.
Right.
And I'm not even a fan.
All right. See you guys next time. Have a great night.
Bye.